Dear friends of Shillong, friends of Northeast India, I am at the entrance of the Salvatorian Generalate in Rome. The door you see at the back, more or less green, is the main entrance to the Salvatorian Generalate. As we know, the Catholic Church in Northeast India was founded by the Salvatorian German missionaries who came in 1890. It was from this Generalate that the first missionaries were sent by Father Francis Jordan. The leader of the first missionaries, as we know, is Father Otto Hoppenmüller, together with another 4 of his friends. Father Angelus, who later succeeds him after about 6 months, and then 2 German coadjutor brothers. The palace is named Palazzo Chesi. It is named after a cardinal. The palace was built in the 16th century, as we can see at the back. Built in 16th century, which was also a property of one of the dukes, which at a later date was bought by the founder of the Salvatorian Fathers, Father Francis Mary Jordan. What we need to remember is only perhaps this piece of history, that it was from here, from this Generalate, that Father Jordan sent the first missionaries of the congregation to Northeast India under the charismatic leadership of Father Otto Hoppenmüller, who unfortunately died within 6 months because of malaria. In 1912, when the First World War began, being Germans and being from enemy country, they were asked to leave Northeast India by the British government. Unfortunately, they had to leave in 1915. And then Vatican sent the Jesuit fathers from Calcutta to replace the Salvatorians in Northeast India. It was during the war, and the period was very, very difficult. The Jesuit fathers must be credited with what they did after the Salvatorians. Though they were there only for 7 years, from 1915 to 1922, they actually took care of all the missions which were founded by the Salvatorian fathers. Personally, I am doing some research connected with Northeast India, and part of my research is about the Salvatorians who began as the pioneers of the missions in Northeast India. After that, chronologically, of course, the Jesuit contribution to Northeast India. And then in 1922, when the Salesians came, the history is about the Salesians of the Apostle. So chronologically, we must thank the Salvatorian fathers who came and planted the church in Northeast India, in the virgin soil of Shillong and the entire Northeast India. They worked for about 25 years, slogging, not knowing the language, bearing up all kinds of privations, wild animals, no roads, inhospitable terrain, unfriendly people, the Protestant sects which were actually against them. And yet, in that difficult situation, the Salvatorian fathers laid a very strong foundation of the Catholic Church in 1890. For about 25 years of hard labor, we had a very flourishing church. But due to the First World War, which began in 1912 till 1918, the missions suffered greatly. And in 1915, the British government packed off the Salvatorian missionaries to Germany. If you read the book by Father Caro Temporal, it's co-edited by Father Caro Temporal, the book by Father Christopher Becker, it tells us about the most difficult journey that the Salvatorian fathers had from India, from Mumbai, all the way to England, and from England to Germany. It was a terrible ordeal that they had to go through. They were treated as prisoners of war without any rights. Nonetheless, after about 2 months of sea voyage, they landed in England, where one of the bishops tried to help them out to send them off to Germany. Well, finally they reached Germany, and then of course Vatican sent us to Northeast India, the Jesuit fathers from Calcutta. The Archbishop of Calcutta then, Bishop Ferdinand Peria, was and is often spoken of as the friend of the Salesians, who did a great work together with the Salesians to take care of Northeast India prior to, well, after the Jesuit fathers left in 1922. The part of history of the Jesuit fathers is also quite interesting. Basically, I would say the Jesuit fathers tried to just take care of the missions left behind suddenly by the Salvatorian fathers. They could not do much because we must understand that they had very few personnel in the Bengal mission in Calcutta. In fact, historically, after about 1 year of work in Northeast, the Jesuits already began asking Vatican to send some substitutes to replace them in Shillong. And this continued for about 3-4 years till finally Vatican had to send some other missionaries who could do justice to Northeast India. And it was finally, of course, the sons of Don Bosco who too in the beginning refused to come to Northeast because of lack of personnel. But the insistence of the prefect of the Congregation for Evangelization of Peoples, Propaganda Fide then, convinced the rector major, and finally the Salesians, as good sons of Don Bosco, in obedience to the Pope's wishes, came to Northeast in 1922. They reached Shillong on 13th May 1922 to a very glorious welcome by all the people and Father Lefebvre, the lone Jesuit missionary who was taking care of Shillong. Thank you.